Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP today. Ducati has confirmed that all 6 of its MotoGP riders will start the 2025 season with the Desmas set-aside GP24 engine instead of the newer GP25 version. The decision, first revealed by Davide Tardazzi, has now been further explained by Ducati course general manager Gigi Dall'Igna, who detailed why the Bologna-based factory is taking a cautious approach with its latest developments. Franco Morbidelli ended MotoGP preseason testing on a high note, securing 7th place overall at Buerim in his first outing with the Pertamina VR46 racing team. After years of injury struggles, the Italian rider is feeling positive about his new chapter, though he admits Marc Marquez remains the benchmark heading into 2025. Jack Miller has weighed in on the ongoing Yamaha V4 engine debate, dismissing it as merely a passing trend. The Pramac Yamaha rider, who has experience with V4 engines at Honda, Ducati, and KTM, insists that the current inline 4 M1 is already strong, and that switching to a V4 won't guarantee success. Yamaha's resurgence in MotoGP continues, as another key strength of their 2025 bike was revealed during the Buerim test. After catching attention in Sepang, the Japanese manufacturer has now made significant progress in race starts, a weakness in previous seasons. With a new clutch system in place, all 4 Yamaha riders demonstrated impressive launches off the line, adding another crucial weapon to their arsenal. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. The biggest preseason question for Ducati revolved around which engine specification to use in 2025. Both Pecco Bagnaia and Marc Marquez voiced concerns over the new GP25 power unit during winter testing, particularly in terms of braking performance. Now, with the start of the season approaching, Ducati has opted to stick with the GP24 engine, believing it is the safest choice given their advantage in the championship. Dall'Igna explained this strategy in a post on LinkedIn. Ducati's cautious stance is based on the belief that not all developments are purely positive, as each new component brings both advantages and disadvantages depending on track conditions. The philosophy was clear and shared with our riders. Only what was obviously better than the 2024 version would be applied immediately from the first race. The rest will be evaluated, improved, and introduced throughout the season. Most upgrades involve both pros and cons. The job during testing is to judge whether a solution that worked well on a few tracks can be consistently better across at least 8 to 10 circuits in the early part of the season. Quote from Dall'Igna. According to Dall'Igna, Ducati was already leaning toward keeping the GP24 engine as early as last year's post-season test in Barcelona. The reason? While the GP25 engine offered better performance and improved rideability, it also introduced challenges with engine braking, a crucial factor in MotoGP. At Montmello, it became clear that while the GP25 engine had its advantages, it also complicated the management of the engine brake. We were already prepared to confirm the 2024 version, and everything was ready for that choice. Ducati isn't the only team taking this approach. With the 2025 calendar featuring a record number of races, teams are prioritizing consistency over pure performance gains. Ducati's aerodynamic package was another major factor in their decision-making. While the GP25 aero setup worked well at Buerim, it posed potential disadvantages at faster, more flowing circuits like Argentina and Qatar. Meanwhile, other components such as the swing arm and gearbox have been approved for use, while the ride height device is still undergoing final testing. Dall'Igna is confident in Ducati's overall approach. Aerodynamics was the toughest decision. It offered clear advantages in certain conditions but had risks on circuits with high-speed corners. We preferred to be cautious and will reevaluate it in the Jerez test on April 28. This will be a highly competitive season with many strong riders and manufacturers. But as always, consistency across all tracks will be the deciding factor. Go Ducati! Concluded. Ducati's decision to start the season with the GP24 engine and chassis may seem conservative, but it highlights the brand's focus on reliability and long-term performance. With riders like Bagnaia, Marquez, and Di Giannantonio aiming for the title, Ducati will introduce new developments only when they are certain to bring an advantage. The next major test will be at Jerez in April, where further upgrades could be considered. It's been a promising start for Morbidelli with VR46. Across the 2 days of testing in Burum, he posted 3rd place on day 1 and 7th on day 2, showing competitive pace throughout. The Italian is already feeling at home within Valentino Rossi's team, crediting his technical chief, Matteo Flamigni, for helping him adapt quickly. Unlike last year, when he missed preseason due to a serious head injury in Portimao, Morbidelli has been able to fully complete testing this time around, even squeezing in extra work beyond the original plan. I had a great start with the new team. We work really well together. They are very passionate guys, and Matteo and I understand each other well because I grew up with that racing philosophy. We worked without any issues, apart from a small crash in Sepang. We finished our program early and did even more, while also being fast every day. Quote from Morbidelli. As part of his preparation, Morbidelli completed a full race simulation in the intense Thai heat. While satisfied with his performance, he acknowledges that Marc Marquez is the clear target for the grid. He admits that there are still areas to improve, particularly in time attacks and race pace, and he plans to analyze Marquez's data to help close the gap. There's a big group behind Marc, who is the man to beat. Bezzecchi was also very fast, doing a great job in testing. But things could change on a race weekend. It seems I need to make some steps forward to catch Marc, especially in time attack, but also in pace. I'll have to take a look at his data. With preseason testing complete, Morbidelli is looking forward to some well-earned rest before the first race of 2025. We've done a good job, and I feel pretty ready for this season. Now I need to train and relax, watch the Sanremo Festival final, and then remember to catch my flight to the first race. With a strong debut at VR46, Morbidelli has regained confidence heading into 2025. While Marc Marquez remains the reference, Morbidelli is determined to close the gap and prove his potential in the coming races. The countdown to the first Grand Prix is on. Yamaha's decision to develop a V4 engine for the future has been a major talking point in MotoGP. The Japanese manufacturer has traditionally used inline-4 engines, making them the only brand on the grid to do so. While many believe that switching to a V4 will help close the performance gap, Miller isn't convinced. Speaking at the Sepang preseason test, he dismissed the debate as overhyped. Miller, who has raced both engine types, says each bike demands a different riding approach, but the core principles remain the same. I believe this whole V4 or no V4 is a fad. I don't believe it's set in stone that you need a V4. There are pros and cons to everything. The inline-4 we have right now is strong. You ride how the bike allows you to. If it allows maximum corner speed, that's what you do. If you realize, shit, I can turn, you keep working in that direction. Quote from Miller. Miller's view aligns with Fabio Quartararo, who recently warned that a V4 alone won't fix Yamaha's struggles. He pointed out that Honda has used V4S for years, but is still further behind in the competitive order. Despite the ongoing debate, Yamaha showed clear signs of improvement at Sepang. Quartararo's strong form even caught the attention of Ducati team boss Davide Tardazzi, who acknowledged Yamaha's progress with the M1. With Burum testing now complete, Yamaha's focus remains on further refining their current package, while development of the V4 project continues in the background. The final MotoGP preseason tests wrapped up at Burum on February 13th, with teams now turning their attention to the season opener, set to take place at the same venue from February 28th to March 2nd. With Miller and Quartararo both showing confidence in Yamaha's progress, the question remains, will the inline-4 prove competitive in 2025, Or will the switch to AV4 become inevitable? Jack Miller remains firm in his belief that engine configuration isn't everything, insisting that Yamaha's current inline-4 is already strong. With the first race just weeks away, all eyes will be on Pramac Yamaha to see if they can silence the doubters and take the fight to Ducati. Yamaha's preseason has been filled with positive surprises, and the latest breakthrough was on full display at Buriram. MotoGP journalist Jack Appleyard highlighted how Yamaha's starts have improved dramatically, pointing to what seems to be a new clutch system inspired by KTM's launch performance. A couple of different members of manufacturers, and me, noticed that the Yamaha has made a big step on their starts. It sounds as though they've got a new clutch system. It really does scream when it starts, then drives forward. Quote from Appleyard. For years, Ducati and KTM have dominated launch performance, giving their riders an edge off the grid. But with this improvement, Yamaha riders could now fight at the first corner, rather than losing positions early. Another key takeaway from Buriram was that all 4 Yamaha riders consistently executed strong starts, proving that this improvement isn't rider-dependent but a clear technical step forward. All 4 riders, time and time again, the sample size is there. They have been very good off the line. That's another positive for Yamaha. With Fabio Quartararo, Alex Rins, Jack Miller, and Miguel Oliveira all showing similar strong launches, Yamaha now has a major strength to build on heading into the new season. Yamaha's Buriram test may not have delivered headline-grabbing lap times, but insiders believe their progress is undeniable. Their strong qualifying pace in Sepang, combined with improved race starts, suggests that they are closing the gap to the top teams. Although they haven't set the world alight on the timesheets like they did in Sepang, give them time. There is a sign of improvement. If they can qualify well and start well, it looks like they can fight. After 2 difficult seasons, Yamaha now enters 2025 with momentum and renewed hope. The addition of Max Bartolini as technical director, the V4 engine development, and the arrival of Pramac Yamaha has injected fresh energy into the team. With the season opener in Thailand just weeks away, the big question remains, can Yamaha translate their preseason gains into race day results? The arrival of Pramac Racing, bringing in Jack Miller and Miguel Oliveira, has added depth and experience to Yamaha's project. Their insights from Honda, Ducati, KTM, and Aprilia could prove invaluable as the season progresses. After 2 years of frustration, Yamaha has finally raised expectations. But can they deliver when it matters most, on February 28th, under the lights in Buriram? Yamaha's new clutch system and stronger race starts have given them a crucial boost ahead of 2025. With a refined bike, a growing technical team, and fresh rider insights, they now have 2 key strengths heading into the season. The wait is almost over. Can Yamaha turn promise into podiums? Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you next time.